The Potteras are back in Dragon Ball Super. Fusion has returned, one of the fandom's favorite things to do when you take two characters and you combine them to make a new, very powerful character. And if you haven't watched the next episode preview for Super Episode 114 at the end of 113, it was revealed that Kale and Caulifla, without any shadow of a doubt at this point, are going to be fusing to make Kefla, which is a fusion with the Potteras, not with the Metamorph fusion. Now, what does this mean for the future of the Tournament of Power? Well, first and foremost, I want to say that fusion was never outlawed in the Tournament of Power. None of the rules that were stated previously was it ever said that you could not fuse. What was said is that you could not use artifacts and weapons. Now, of course, it all comes down to whether or not you think a Pottera is a weapon. Obviously, if you use a Pottera and you create a fused character, you can have the edge. So yes, in my personal opinion, I do see it being a weapon. It's no different than maybe a shield or some kind of healing artifact. But what does this mean for the future of the tournament? I think the big discussion last week, before we knew that it was going to be Pottera fusion, was a lot of content creators and a lot of people in our community were talking about Gogeta possibly making an appearance in this tournament with Goku and Vegeta fusing to kind of match up with Caulifla and Kale, even though at this point we know that a Gogeta in Super would obliterate Caulifla and Kale. I mean, we know that already. But I think now that we know it's Pottera fusion, again, where does this go? Well, if the Omni King is going to be allowing Champa to throw a Pottera at Kale and Caulifla to fuse, what's going to stop other universes from using Potteras? We might see characters from Universe 2 fuse. We might see Ribrianne fuse with somebody. We might see somebody from Universe 4. The two bugs may fuse. You know, it would be kind of a small Pottera, but hey, you never know. We might see, who knows? But I think the big topic, I think the big talking point now is going to be whether or not Universe 7 is going to fuse with Pottera at some point in the tournament, with the two most likely candidates being the return of Vegito, this time possibly an Ultra Instinct version, which would be incredibly OP. And I do wonder, if they do Ultra Instinct Vegito, is it going to be the same stamina drain and the time limit running out like it did against Zamasu, because of the fact that if you use a lot of power, your time runs out? Or because it's Ultra Instinct, does that technique supersede that time limit? And does it actually give you the full hour because of the fact that you're moving without moving? So you're not really using energy? I don't know. It's too soon to talk about that, but it could be a possibility. I think Vegito is a maybe, but I'm going to shift gears a little bit and tell you what I really believe, and that is that it's, if they're going to do this fusion, which at this point I don't believe they're going to do, because I think that the big fight they're building up to is the Goku-Jiren rematch. So I think it's going to be a singular battle between Goku and Jiren. Don't think it's going to be a fusion, but if they do a fusion, I could actually see the fusion of Goku and Gohan happening. Obviously, it was foreshadowed that Goku and Gohan would be very important in this tournament based on the previous Dragon Ball Super ending. But like I've said a million times, you should never read too much into those endings, because they're just endings that are made for that time period, and the animators, I don't think, even know what's coming, you know, not that far ahead. So I don't see that being that big of a clue, but it is one that you could take into account, that with Gohan being the leader and Goku putting so much faith in him, that possibly this time we may get the Goku and Gohan fusion, Gokhan, or whatever the case may be. That, I think, is more likely. Plus, it's different. We've already seen Vegito come back in Super, even though it was just for a few minutes, and I know a lot of folks, including myself, wanted to see more Vegito. I think the fusion of Goku and Gohan, I think, would actually be something fresh, something new, and something that was slightly teased back in the Buu arc. Remember, Goku had originally chosen to fuse with Gohan, but Gohan couldn't catch the Pottera because, well, he's very clumsy. Now, in this arc, could we see the realization of that? I don't know, but once again, because the Potteras are being allowed, the chances are now higher than ever that we may see other fusions. Even though I don't think we're going to, we may. Let me know what you think. Do you want to see more fusions? Do you think that Vegito should come back? How do you think an Ultra Instinct Vegito would fare against Jiren? That's going to be an interesting one right there. Also, what about Gohan? Could it be that maybe if they combine Gohan's ultimate form with the Ultra Instinct power that Goku has in Gokhan, what kind of power are we talking about then? Like, just think about what I'm telling you. That's crazy. Anyways, Thank you as always for supporting the channel and watching the video. Leave a thumbs up if you like the video. Comment what I asked you to comment with and any other thoughts you may have about this topic. And if you like this video, I've got plenty more to come and plenty more in the archives for you to check out, including my new Dragon Ball In-Depth, where I went into the secret of Shenron / Shenlong and the story, the backstory behind the dragon and where he came from. Really proud of that video, and I think you guys will like it, so please check that one out when you have some time. I think you'll enjoy it. Have a great day. Take care of yourself and each other.